Let's be really honest with ourselves for just a second. Sometimes barefoot shoes can look a little bit off, but this doesn't always have to be the case. A good example of this is the company we're talking about today, Skinner's, who does a really good job at making sure their shoes look fantastic while not sacrificing at all on any of their barefoot qualities. Folks, I am glad you're here. My name is Chris, and this is the Sons of Sever YouTube channel where there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad gear. Today, my brother Eric and I are going to be going over the Old Schooler high top and the Globetrotter high top from Skinner's, two shoes that look really good. And again, don't sacrifice on those barefoot features you might be looking for. So we're going to talk about our likes and our dislikes of these shoes. Towards the end of the video, we're going to give our final opinion on whether or not we would recommend these to somebody who is looking for a barefoot shoe that looks really good in a lot of different settings. If you're interested in jumping around to different parts of the video, there are timestamps down in the description. But for now, I'm going to pass things over to Eric to start with his likes on the Old Schooler high top.
Okay, so when it comes to my likes of the Skinner's Old Schooler, the first thing is I really like how it looks. And I say that a lot because companies just keep getting better and better at what they're doing. So two things that I really like about the look of this. If you look at the cupped outsole that it has, it kind of raises towards the back, which gives you the illusion of a heel, makes it fit in really well with other high top sneakers out there. And then I really like the paneling on the toe box as well. They did a good job of hiding just how wide that toe box is. So it is a really good looking sneaker. I also really like the construction quality and the materials that it's made out of. So it's made out of a premium leather and you have some suede accents along it too. So I think that's going to prove to be very durable and pretty weather resistant too. They kind of pitch this as like a spring or a fall shoe. And I think the materials definitely support that. It also has some sidewall stitching on it. As far as the construction goes, I really appreciate sidewall stitching. It gives you an extra layer of protection than just gluing the upper to the outsole. Now to go along with that awesome styling, the good materials, and the great way that it's been constructed, it has really good barefoot properties. The outsole is very thin and very flexible, so you can flex this thing in any way that you want to. It is zero drop, so it gives you a nice flat platform to stand on that doesn't mess with your posture, and you do have room in that toe box to spread your toes out completely. At least I do. I think that most people will find these toe boxes to be plenty wide. So if those are all important things to you when you're looking for a high top barefoot sneaker, this is definitely a contender for you.
Getting into my likes of the Globetrotter, the first thing that I have to bring up is kind of the hallmark feature of this shoe, and that is going to be the upper. They call it their tree knit upper. It's made from wood fibers. It is extremely soft and breathable. We've seen other European companies experiment with this vegan shoe idea, but getting away from fake vegan leathers because those tend to feel kind of cheap and they don't really last very well and they don't really wear very well either. Instead, moving on to things like banana fibers, and now we see this tree knit, which again is extremely soft and comfortable to the foot. It also breathes really, really well. That's why they include the Globetrotter specifically in their summer collection. The next like that I have for the Globetrotter is going to be the barefoot feature. So we have a fantastic toe box. They are zero drop. They're going to be extremely minimal at 8 millimeters overall. You can take that insole out to get yourself down to 4 millimeters. So we are going to have some really good flexibility. This thing is going to move with your foot really nice, and it will even roll up if you want to travel with these as a backup pair of shoes or whatever. You can roll them up, throw a rubber band around them, and they're going to pack away really nice and easy. But overall, because of those barefoot features, this thing has really, really good comfort built into it. The last like that I'm going to bring up here for the Globetrotter is going to be how versatile I think this shoe actually is. There's a lot of different situations I found myself able to use this thing. One of those places that may be outside the ordinary for what someone might be getting this shoe for is the gym. I really like this thing as a gym shoe because of the way it breathes, because of the way it flexes and stretches with the foot. I find that it's really good for a lot of different movements. There are some movements that the Old Schooler is a little bit better for because it has a little bit more structure, although they share the same toe box and the same ability to flex at the sole. They're both really good for the gym. I really like this because of the overall comfort it gives me there. Outside of that, obviously it can be used for casual wear if I'm just going out to the movies with the family or something like that, but it also looks good enough that I wouldn't shy away from wearing this in some more semi-formal situations, like maybe taking it to church. I really appreciate that kind of versatility in a shoe. It makes it so that I can use it a lot, and I like it when I get to use products a lot. With our likes of these shoes out of the way, it's time for us to get into our dislikes. But first, we want to mention a new partner for the channel that we are really excited about. It is Expand Laces. Expand Laces, we're able to make the Globetrotter and the Old Schooler both slip on and off for us, which is really nice because when you're testing a lot of pairs of shoes, it's really hard to choose the ones that are difficult to get on and off because it takes a long time to tie them. Expand Laces makes every shoe a slip-on shoe. Even some of the hiking boots that we are testing for the fall and winter content, I've put Expand Laces in them, and now I can slip them on and off my foot easily. If you want to have that same experience with your shoes, head down to the link in the description. It'll take you over to their website. We also have a 5% off discount code that you can use to save yourself some money at checkout.
Talking about my dislikes with the Old Schooler, one thing that I noticed that's a little bit different from some other high top barefoot sneakers that we've gotten is that this one does have some toe spring. I think you can see it just by looking at the profile of the shoe there. It's not something that is uncomfortable for me, but I do notice it. I know that's something that people care about. This definitely is not completely flat along the bottom because up here towards the toe, you definitely get some lift right there. Now, if you are in Europe, then you're in luck because these are readily available to you. They are not listed on the US Skinner's website. So if you go and look at the Skinner's website in the United States, all they have on there are the socks with the hard bottoms on them. They don't have any shoes. So I do think that it's going to be a little bit more difficult for people in the US to get a hold of these. We know that that's a big part of our audience, so that's another thing to consider. There might be some extra taxes or whatever when you're going to try and order these guys, because you do have to go and order them from the EU website.
Getting into my dislikes for these Skinner shoes. I only have one dislike. That's going to go for both of these shoes, and I guess Skinner's as a brand, because my dislike is that the sizing chart isn't quite consistent with other European companies that we've worked with so far. I'm typically a European size 44, and I did size down to a 43 for these pairs, and that was perfect for me. The reason why I don't like that is I want consistency across all the brands. I know that's not the most realistic thing, as they are working with different lasts and different materials and all that stuff. That's going to change a lot of factors, but having to go down a whole size is a little bit concerning for me. Luckily, we went to the Skinner's booth at the Barefoot Expo where I tried on a size 44, found it was a little too long in the toe, and we ended up getting size 43 for our review pairs that were sent out to me, and that's worked out perfectly. So just keep that in mind. Make sure that you measure your foot and you consult their sizing chart before making your order to Skinner's.
All right, so would I recommend this shoe for somebody else? And absolutely. I really don't have any reservations with it. Again, the only thing I can think of is that toe spring that might bother some people. It's not uncomfortable for me, but I do notice that it's there. There are other barefoot sneaker options out there that are completely flat, like Feelgrounds or Splay. Those ones don't really have any toe spring to them, and this one definitely does. Outside of that, I love the style of the shoe. I think it looks really, really good. You can dress it up just a little bit because it is a really good looking sneaker, and obviously it's going to fit in really well casually. I think it's been built well. It's got some sidewall stitching. It's made out of premium leathers and suedes, and so those are all really good things about the shoe. I like the barefoot qualities that it has. It is a thin and flexible outsole. The toe box is nice and wide, so there's a lot going on for this thing. I think it's a very well disguised barefoot shoe, which is something that I always appreciate. If those are all things that you're looking for, then you should definitely go and check these out. Skinner's has a ton of different options too. They've got ankle ones too. They've got a few different models. They all look really, really good. We definitely like what's going on at Skinner's right now.
Getting into my final opinion on these options from Skinner's, would I recommend these to somebody who is looking for barefoot style casual shoes? Absolutely. I love both of these things. I know I mainly covered the Globetrotter in this video, but I love the Old Schooler just as much. On the one hand, we have the classic leather construction. On the other hand, we have a company that's trying to go vegan, but in our opinion, doing it the right way. Most companies that try to go vegan, they go to vegan leathers, which are just fake, synthetic, made out of plastic materials, that kind of stuff. That's not really great for you. They went with natural materials, truly natural. They went with tree fibers. They went with eucalyptus on the inside. They went with natural rubbers. I really like all of that, and it leads to a super comfortable shoe. Again, my only dislike is the sizing discrepancy with other European brands, and that's not the biggest deal if you look at their sizing chart and you measure your foot and you make sure all of that stuff lines up. I love both these shoes. I'd highly recommend them, and they're currently both on sale as the recording of this video. So this guy is going for about like 90 USD, where it's usually like 150, and this is usually closer to $200 and is currently $150. So if you're interested in grabbing these, now is the time. Make sure to use the link down in the description to get over to their website. Folks, if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. All those things really help the channel out. If you're interested in any of the products that we talked about in this video, there will be links to them down in the description. If we have discount codes for any of those companies, they will be featured with the links. If you want to get more content from us, there are 3 different places you can get it. The first one is Patreon, where for $1 a month, you can get exclusive behind-the-scenes content we don't post anywhere else. If you want to be most up to date with what we are working on, make sure to follow us on Instagram, where we are constantly posting unboxing videos. Go follow us on Strava if you're interested in seeing mini reviews in real time of the products we're using and what we're using them for. Strava allows you to track and post about your different activities. We track and post about our runs, trail runs, hikes, paddleboarding, and weightlifting, and we do little mini reviews on the products we're using during those activities. Go follow us there, and we will follow you back. We appreciate your view, and as always, we will catch you in the mountains.